Hello and welcome to SaltWire today for Wednesday, May 31st. I'm your host, Kate Walker. Wildfires continue to burn across our province tonight with little relief in sight looking at the forecast. Help has been called in from the United States with crews from the states of New York and New Hampshire to start work Saturday. Crews sent out to the Northwest Territories are coming back tonight and will begin work tomorrow across Nova Scotia.
I'd like to first take a moment to express our tremendous shock and awe and empathy for people across the country, particularly in the Atlantic provinces right now, who are being affected by wildfires.
There was a glimmer of hope that some residents may be able to return to their homes, but the evacuation zone is still not safe enough to be reduced. 151 homes have been destroyed that we know of.
Yesterday, I told you there were 6 burns overnight. There had been 6 burns the overnight before. Last night, at least 8. At least 8 more reckless people chose to burn. I do not know what they're thinking. I just don't get it with what's happening in this province right now. And I just want to say that effective immediately, anyone who burns in this province, anyone who disrespects the province-wide burn ban, I can be subject to a $25,000 fine. And if that doesn't work and we're still in this situation, then we'll do what we need to do to increase that. The forests are simply too dry. The conditions are too volatile. We can't accept any more risk of additional fires.
We're going to begin in Tantallon, where the fire grew slightly overnight from 788 to 837 hectares, and the weather conditions were expected to cause more havoc.
We've got winds gusting up to 20-25 out of the southwest, and as I had mentioned before, winds out of any southerly direction are a drying wind, so they're going to continue to eat away at the remaining moisture in the fine fuels, those leaves and those twigs on the ground that carry the fire to other avenues of the wildland environment. Also, we're forecasted to have relatively low relative humidity today. We're looking at around 20%. So when our relative humidity levels get close to the forecasted temperature of today, that's a phenomenon of what we call crossover, excuse me, yes, crossover. And the phenomenon of crossover is an indicator of extreme fire behavior.
Air quality warnings continued for Halifax and other areas as the smoke from the fires continued to blanket parts of the province. Meantime, a new fire in the Bedford Hammonds Plains area continued to burn today, but did not reach any homes. This afternoon, it was around 4 hectares in size and 80% contained.
The fire that started in that dairy, is that related to the Tantallon fire, or was there a separate ignition?
At this point, we don't know if it's related or separate, and that's part of our investigation. But it was quite a ways from the original fire.
An evacuation order was called for the Bedford area last night after a new fire began near Hammonds Plains Road and Larry Utek Drive and close to the farmer's dairy operation. Because of concern over a potential ammonia leak from the plant, residents were told to evacuate, but the order was rescinded after firefighters got the situation under control around the plant. Those people are now on standby with a pre-evacuation order to be ready in 30 minutes if they need to leave. Meantime, things are looking grim in Shelburne County, where most areas have been evacuated in the wildfire that's now around 20,000 hectares, the biggest the province has ever seen. It has almost doubled since yesterday. Hot weather and wind are expected to continue spreading the flames, much like the case in HRM. It's unknown how many buildings have been destroyed or damaged in the Shelburne County fire.
We had to leave our chickens behind, so I'm not sure if there's any help for them.
A bridge has been destroyed, hindering fire crews' abilities to move through the area. Today was also the last day of the commercial lobster fishery around here, meaning all gear is supposed to be landed, but in the Barrington area, there are captains and crews who can't get to the wharfs because of the road closures and evacuations. DFO has granted an extension to Friday. But volunteers are stepping up and around the area to help. SaltWire's Tina Camo is in the neighboring county of Yarmouth, where volunteers are doing their part at a local comfort center.
With evacuations in place due to a massive wildfire burning in Shelburne County, thousands of people have been displaced through evacuations. In neighboring Yarmouth County, a comfort center has been set up at the Yarmouth Fire Hall located at 221 Pleasant Street. The Comfort Center is providing food, shower facilities, cots, and more to evacuees who may venture as far as Yarmouth to escape the situation in Shelburne County. The Comfort Center is operating 24/7, and there are also kennels if people have their pets with them. Yarmouth Wesleyan Church is assisting with the coordination of the Comfort Center.
For anyone who is in need of any sort during this crisis, the Comfort Center is there for you to use. We have some people who would love to greet you, would love to put some food in front of you for you to eat, and even just some conversation. We know people are processing a lot right now, and sometimes it's helpful to have someone sit there and listen and really care. So that's what we're trying to do. It is there. We are there for you. Your community is there for you. And we know we can't do as much as we would like, but know that you are deeply loved and cared about, and we would love to see you at the Comfort Center if it's something that you need.
Those involved with the Comfort Center are looking to spread the word that this is a resource that is available. Those who have availed themselves to it are very grateful for the help, support, and assistance being provided, as these Shelburne County wildfire evacuees share.
Really happy to be able to find somewhere like this, because although when we first left we didn't realise we needed things, the longer we're away, the more we're realising that we just don't have the financial resources to keep going. And this is fabulous. This is so kind, so helpful. Thanks very much.
It's good to know that there are people out there who will help as well. And you've got to thank them for donating their time.
Anyone who would like to contribute and donate to the Comfort Center can contact Yarmouth Wesleyan Church. This is Tina Kamau, reporting for SaltWire in Yarmouth.
With fires burning out of control across the province, there have been a number of bans put in place in hopes of preventing more fires from starting. As of this morning, Halifax Regional Municipality has closed all wooded areas and municipal parks, such as Shuby Park, Point Pleasant Park, and Admiral Cove Park. Non-wooded areas of municipal parks like playgrounds, sports fields, and green spaces are still open.
I want to put a new twist on an old favorite from a previous crisis. No blazes at home.
Premier Houston announced a province-wide forest ban yesterday. People are being ordered out of the woods for all recreational or business purposes. Things like hiking, fishing, camping are not allowed. Commercial operations will need a special permit.
Halifax Police, I saw a tweet today that they have tweeted out that people are flicking cigarette butts out of car windows. It would be nice in a time of crisis if we could have a no stupid policy. But unfortunately, that doesn't really exist. That's why you have laws.
There's also a province-wide ban on all burning until June 25th or until conditions improve. This also applies to fires in provincial parks and private campgrounds. Well, it isn't all bad news. People have been opening their homes and their hearts to Maritimers going through these devastating times of losing a home or being forced to wake up in unfamiliar places. The Canada Games Centre has been open as the only evacuation centre in HRM, as not only a place to sleep and get food, but for important resources too. The Canadian Red Cross is there helping evacuees with eligibility for a one-time emergency financial aid of $500 from the provincial government through a program being administered by the Canadian Red Cross. Counselors have also been at the Centre for Mental Health Guidance in scary and unpredictable times. The Museum of Natural History opened their doors, free admission for anyone looking for a family activity during these challenging times. And as we've mentioned over the last few days, pets and other animals are also being taken care of and rescued by the SPCA and community Facebook groups. It's time now for a glimpse of today's Thinking Out Loud with Sheldon McLeod. Today, Sheldon is speaking with Dr. Simon Sherry, a psychologist who is offering his advice during these anxious times.
There are people right now who are trying to just move on with their lives in the midst of a chaotic and perhaps devastating time.
It's a very difficult set of circumstances to cope with, so I don't want to pretend magically like I have all the answers. But one thing I would tell the people is, we need to give this situation some time. You need to give your brain, your body, and yourself some time to adjust to these new circumstances. And losing access to your home and abruptly being involuntarily evacuated really scrambles your routines. And humans thrive with routine. We want a regular sleeping and waking cycle, for example. So as quickly as reasonably possible, if people can return to some semblance of routine in terms of when they go to bed or when they eat, the faster they can get to the healthy regulation of routine, that will help ground them.
And for Sheldon's full conversation, head to the opinion section of saltwire.com. Time now for the Atlantic Sports Wire, presented by Scott's Squires.
Thanks, Kate. On this special edition of the Atlantic Sports Wire, SaltWire NSCC interns Cameron Dolliver and Daniel Briand bring you the story of a special soccer day held in Halifax.
The Halifax County United Soccer Club hosted a free supervised soccer day located at the BMO Soccer Center in Halifax. This event was put together to help parents and kids during the evacuations due to the ongoing forest fires.
So a lot of our families have been displaced, and some of our members, their houses have been either burnt down or yards in bad condition. So
the idea is to offer a day of free childcare to parents who need it and to create a space for kids free of the stress of the ongoing situation.
Some of our families had to leave with, minutes notice, and a lot of them grabbed their soccer cleats and the soccer ball on the way out as one of their last things. So can we be a bit of a distraction for them?
And the community heard their call with around 60 kids attending.
It's one thing for us as adults to have that responsibility and stress, but we shouldn't have to pass that on to the kids. So events like this really does just take their minds off of things. So I think it's, we couldn't say enough good things about, this opportunity and what HCU is doing for the community as a whole.
Halifax County United is in talks to extend the event. You can check out their Facebook page for more information. In Halifax, I'm Cameron Dolliver for SaltWire.
To see what's coming up in the forecast and how it could impact the wildfires, we're going to check in now with our weather specialist, Alistair Alders.
Well, Kate, the situation is obviously still very fluid when it comes to the weather and these wildfires. It was another mainly sunny day. Of course, we had a bit of local smoke downwind of these fires. Winds were light this morning, but we did have an increasing southwest wind this afternoon, and temperatures are going to be even hotter tomorrow. We really don't see a change in the pattern until we head into the upcoming weekend. Hopefully, fingers crossed, this will be a change for the better for the pattern, but we still have a few days to go before we see that change. This evening, we will have clear skies, local smoke, of course, possible, with the temperature near 20 degrees and rising from 10 degrees on Thursday morning with sunshine. Local smoke, of course, possible. Mainly sunny as we go into the afternoon on our Thursday, and it is going to be a hot day. It could be a record-breaking day. 32 degrees the high tomorrow afternoon. Temperatures, of course, will be cooler directly along parts of the Atlantic coast, but in most of HRM, temperatures will be up in the high 20s and low 30s on our Thursday. Really not much of a humidex factor, though. The air mass is still going to be very dry. The change to the pattern starts to move in on Friday. We'll have the arrival of a cold front, so still a mix of sun and cloud, but a chance of showers. Unfortunately, though, a risk of thunderstorms, which could cause concern that we could see new fires. But more widespread showers develop as we go through Friday night, continuing Saturday, and the pattern looking very unsettled as we head into next week. So this is really the best case scenario with what we have. Really, earlier in the week it was looking like only a chance of showers, but now looking like more widespread showers and possibly some beneficial rain, given the pattern will be unsettled for several days as we head into next week. We just have to get through the weather for the next couple, and then hopefully the change to the pattern will provide relief for the crews fighting these fires this weekend into early next week. Temperatures also going to be a lot cooler, back below seasonal beginning this weekend. Kate.
Thank you, Alistair. That's all for now. For more extended video and full online articles, stay tuned to saltwire.com, and you can find us on social media. I'm your host, Kate Walker. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. Turn off the noise. Tune in to what matters. What matters is information you can trust. What matters is the news you can use to make life's big decisions. Informed healthcare choices, casting the smart vote, or opening that business. What matters is understanding the world around you. Let SaltWire connect you to what matters with unlimited access to the information you need for only $20 for the first year. Become a member today.